You know, folks, on Thursdays, we kind of focus on crime in this particular part of the show. Seems like every week brings another headline of psychotic repeat offenders committing a violent crime. Yet left-wing lawmakers don't seem at all serious about stopping it. In the People's Republic of California, for example, those deemed, quote, incompetent can't be prosecuted for certain crimes because Democrats claim it would criminalize mental illness, leaving residents as easy targets for people who should be behind bars or confined. Our crime correspondent Jason Mattera has this report.
It was the attack that shocked the nation. A young Ukrainian woman stabbed to death on a Charlotte train by an unhinged man with a long rap sheet. But this isn't just a North Carolina problem. Violence by the deranged has become a coast-to-coast crisis. And in California, it's one that lawmakers have helped create. Under the state's Senate Bill 317, defendants deemed mentally incompetent can't be prosecuted for misdemeanor crimes. Instead, they're funneled into what are called diversionary programs.
We see individuals who are not complying with the terms of that treatment plan, and they're released back to the community. And some of these individuals do have violent backgrounds.
The Napa County District Attorney's Office says that's exactly what happened with 36-year-old Ramiro Ochoa Mendoza. He was granted a mental health diversion in June for a string of prior offenses and released from custody. Mendoza was supposed to appear in court on July 8th for his first diversion review, but never showed. Under California law, his cases were dismissed. 3 days later, he was arrested for the brutal murder of a 47-year-old man found dead under a bridge.
I think there does need to be a balance between protecting the rights of the mentally ill and allowing criminal prosecutions to move forward. And I think we've seen a swing of the pendulum too far towards protecting the rights of those mentally ill. We can give these individuals treatment plans, tell them they need to comply with it, but we can't force them to do it. In this instance where these cases are misdemeanors, the case is going to be dismissed.
California's law mirrors a national trend, shifting treatment out of secure facilities and into the community.
The pendulum has just swung way too far towards this community-based system. A community-based system is great for somebody who you think can live with his family, live on his own independently, and be relied on to go and pursue treatment.
The answer, some say, may be a return to institutionalization, a place where those diagnosed with severe mental illness can get real help without turning the public into collateral damage.
It doesn't mean making prison or psychiatric hospital the only solution. We need to revive something like the old asylum system, more modern reforms, modern science, well-staffed. If we don't embrace that solution, these tragedies are just going to keep recurring.
Chris, when you look at crime stats, especially among repeat offenders, it's usually a small group driving the numbers up. And many of those clearly aren't right in the head. For those individuals, involuntary commitment should be an option to keep the public safe. But as we're seeing in California and elsewhere, these people are just being dumped back onto the streets to pick up where they left off.
Jason, another one of those so-called compassionate laws turned out to be a public safety disaster for the people. You know I shouldn't be really shocked what passes out there in California these days, but what are the ramifications in the real world of making certain crimes basically off limits for prosecution?
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. So we're told that defense attorneys in California are now advising their clients that their misdemeanor charges will actually disappear if they skip court-ordered treatment. So lawmakers have effectively created a system that rewards non-compliance. In other words, there's currently a built-in incentive not to get help if you need it, which, of course, itself is nuts.
Nuts, yeah, certifiably nuts, one would say. Of course, it's in California. Crime correspondent Jason Mattera, thank you very much. Appreciate the time, sir.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.